Hello, this is Falling here. Just want to show a few of the micro tricks that were available in Brood War that were based around bugs in the game, but didn't actually affect the unit AI in the sense that the unit by itself just controlled perfectly well. There's nothing hindering it, but there's this extra option that the unit had if you know how to do it. So one of these was hopping over minerals, or mineral gliding, I guess. And the basic idea is you get your unit you want to hop over, and it could be a bunch of different units. Some took longer than others, like Ultralisk, and weren't a necessarily guaranteed thing, but you get the vulture into this little like alcove niche thing, and then we're going to get the miner to go in and mine that patch. While it's doing that, we're going to select our vulture again through a hotkey, and we're going to click here once, click the mineral patch, and then just spam click on the outside, and hopefully it should slide through the minerals, although sometimes it's a little bit variable and wants to slide back. So mining, then click, and it's hops over but back again. So it's in the hole, gonna mine, and click. Now, I partially suspect that this might have something to do with how close it is to the edge of the map. I could be wrong about that. Oops. Try this again. Click, and we're through. So it's one of those tricks that you could do. There was a chance that it wouldn't work. It would slide over and then slide back again, like you just saw. But you could ambush units because you managed to get some over, but it wasn't such that you could get your entire army over in a cost-effective manner. But there's actual entire maps that are built around this sort of idea. So, for instance, Outsider, you had these. Here's your main base right here, and there's a ramp down, and then it's this mineral line or mineral wall. But you could hop some units over, but it's intensive enough that you wouldn't want to spend all your time doing that, because you kind of lose on your macro game. And then you could hop over the next wall and you could get into one of these bases. And so it wasn't this imbalancing that people were surprised by it. You knew it was possible, it was just hard to do. But it made for an interesting sort of game as you're watching them trying to get it over. So there's units that could do this, but you could also do that with workers if you wanted to make some buildings close to them for some bit of shenanigans. So the basic idea is pretty much the same. You get them to mine, get the other worker to mine, and you can do this click outside, click them, mine, and click through, but workers actually you could just full on just click right away. So mine, and hot select, and just click like crazy, and goes through. Now, there were some other methods to mineral hop, and I'm not going to show them all, but one of them that hopefully will work is just you get your worker in and you start building a supply depot, and then on the overlap you cancel it just like that, and you can send them right through. So when the worker, when it is building, it kind of randomly goes here and there, and it sometimes overlaps with minerals, and at that moment you just hit cancel or escape and spam click on this side and it'll get through just like that. So I can cancel that there. And there's different ways of doing it. The probe could use the pylon and that sort of thing. And the one last trick I want to show is with workers and what's called the worker drill, I guess. And the basic idea is in Brood War, both your allied units and the enemy units would actually block the ramp. And now in Starcraft 2 that's changed with the allies, but this could still work in a Starcraft 2 setting. And basically, when workers are sent to a mineral patch, they no longer collide with units. And so what that allowed you to do is just, this is units blocking the ramp, you could send, as long as you had vision of the mineral patch. You could send them to mine, and they'd go up the ramp. So for instance, they'd just go right through, right past, even though they're firing at them. If those are enemy units, you could send them right through. But the advantage what you could do with this is if someone's blocking the ramp and you want to get your own army through, is you could worker drill their units and then send your units into the mix. And basically what it's going to be is I'm going to select these, hit this mineral patch. When they're crossing through, I'm going to hit stop or attack move, and it's just going to push all these units away from them. So just watch that. So select on the mineral patch, you're going to glide right through, going to hit stop, and then all of a sudden they push all these soldiers that were blocking the ramp. And so at the same time, I could be sending my own troops down to attack this group that was now no longer blocking the ramp, or I could have maybe A moved or something like that. So those are just a few of the tricks that were possible in Brood War. They're bugs, but they didn't actually, like, this unit can move around just fine. There's some AI issues, but they're not one of those things where you have one and it affects the other. There's two separate issues that people are talking about. So that's all I'm going to talk about in this one.